You're amazing. You're a goddess.
Oh,
What are you
thank
talking
you.
about? Yeah, always. No,
So my baby is here. Hopefully she's gonna be an iPad kid and mind her business. But if she interrupts, I might have to stop and then we record like pick up later. And I could drop her off at Crystal's house or something. But
oh no, you're good.
time we're gonna give it a go.
You're perfect the
Great.
way you are. So, yeah, my guest today is one of the hosts of my absolute favorite podcasts. What would you say? The indie darling, the hardest to find, the Hello Dysfunction. Like it is so good.
Thank
Her
you.
her her name Pata Fria. How do you say it? I know how I would say it.
So I say it Pata Fria
Okay.
to make it easy for people. It's of course Pata Fria, but I'm not
Yeah.
gonna put all that. I don't even speak Spanish, so I'm not gonna put heavy enunciation on it.
Yeah, I remember like always seeing it, and I'm like, oh, okay, that does sound like a name, and I'm like, wait, it just means cold feet. Like, why am I?
So, okay, are you Mexican?
I am Mexican.
So, are you familiar with a cousin gave me this name and apparently it's supposed to be funny in Spanish, in Mexican Spanish for people named Maria. There's a saying, Maria con la pata fria, and it's like a thing. So,
Okay.
I don't get it because again, I don't speak Spanish, but she tried to break it down to me. She gave me the name when we were young. And I know it's a thing and she didn't make it up because when I go to social media profiles to use the name Patafria, it's usually taken by someone named Maria. And so I'm like,
Oh
oh, another Maria fucking beat me to it. But
man, I had no idea that was a saying. I guess I'm not like that deep into Mexico. Like I
I need
barely
to
notice it.
get
You
a
know.
better explanation from her because I never know. That's all I ever tell people, and they're like, "Okay." I mean, it's just she gave it to me, and it's a thing. So
Well, it works. I don't know how your feet might be if they're cold or not. I
they
would.
are actually. That's
Are
not
they actually?
why she gave me that. She gave me that because of my name being Maria, but my feet are always like fucking ice.
Dude, I think at this age, I'm starting that where my feet are always cold. I need socks on, like no matter what.
I'm one of those that I can't sleep without socks on. Like
Yeah,
I
it's
have to
crazy.
always have socks on.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. I don't know. I don't know what it is, or maybe it's all the pills I take. But
Circulation issues. I
it
do.
could be that too.
Yeah. Could be
I
that too.
know. I know. Your podcast. How long has it been going on for now? Like I see, it's like at 200 episodes. So
I
how
think it's
long?
been going on for like 5 years. 5 years.
Yeah, because that's not even
Yeah,
counting the Patreon stuff where
yeah,
you can
yeah.
find it patreon.com/hello dysfunction.
Yeah,
Uh,
this one's been going on for 5 years. And then before that, I had my own
hmm
podcast that I was doing with DJ Fresh. And it was like I was in an ignorant place back then and I was a different person. And
We all were.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
we all
that one
were.
it was mostly like interviewing musicians and like rappers and stuff and just having hella ignorant conversations. So a lot of growing has been done for sure.
No, I love your show. I always listen to it and like relate so much, especially with like I don't want to say with the stealing part because
Oh yeah.
I'm, I'm like a I wouldn't say kleptomaniac, but I do like taking something for free every now and then.
I feel like we're owed at this point just
Yeah.
because of capitalism and the robbery that goes on with these corporations. I'm not for stealing from any mom and pops or any
Mhm.
people. It's
Mhm.
only from big corporations that
Yeah,
are
dude.
robbing us anyway, and they have the insurance to cover it anyway, and
For real. They're marking that shit up, so we're just
a
trying to
million times. Yeah.
balance everything. Fucking get all that shit done. No, I am. Let's see here. And what'd you do before you started the podcast? Like, do you have just regular jobs, like a 9 to 5, or like?
I've had many, many regular jobs. I started like making money, no lie, when I was like 7 years old, 6 or 7 years old. I started like cleaning up my neighbors' yards and stuff like that, and like telling them to give me money, and they did. And then as soon as I was able to get hired by someone as soon as I reached an age, because I think here you got to be like 16 or 15 with a work permit. But I was able to like convince somebody to hire me when I was like 14, 13, like a yogurt shop and stuff. So I've been working my whole life. So
Hmm.
I sold cars before, I sold insurance for State Farm, I did all kinds of stuff. And I worked for an African law firm. Like I've done all these weird jobs. But then I also was a hoe and I also was a stripper. And once I kind of landed myself in sex work, is she loud? Is she picking up really loud?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Just interrupt me if you want to
Oh,
like take a break at any time.
oh, you're good.
Um but yeah, once I found myself in doing sex work, I was like, wow, this is my fucking calling. And I just stuck with it. And that was in 2006. Well,
Hmm.
actually, no, let me back up. It was before that because I started stripping when I was in high school. Ma'am, please. When I
Oh,
was
she's
in high
adorable.
school, she wants to sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star and sleep. Please, can you
Oh.
go and do your iPad, do your games? Um, so I started stripping when I was in high school. And then I was like, wow, this is really easy because I'm bossy by nature and kind of demanding, and I don't have a problem asking for money. And so I did pretty good at it, not the dancing part, but like the whole exchange, I guess, and the asking men for stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I got married. I lived a square life. I did a bunch of square jobs for years. And then after I got a divorce, it was like a rebirth. And then this hoe emerged. And then I just been
Hell
sticking with it
yeah.
ever since. Yeah. So now the only thing that stopped me this go round, that started in 2006. COVID fucked me up. So
Hmm.
I got COVID like 3 times. And so I was so scared of getting COVID. I stopped working and then yeah, I just kind of like involuntarily got out of the game, but I still might go back into it. I miss it.
So all the way to 2020, you were still doing like that kind of work, like
Yeah.
and was it more private, or were you still doing it at clubs, or was it?
I only worked at a club for like a year when I got
Hmm.
back in the game in 2006, and I was like, this is hella work. It involves too much ass kissing, too many men critiquing my body. And I'm just not down for that. And like I had to like tip out everybody that worked at the fucking club and also
Mm.
the club every night. And then like if you don't make tip out, like you can only get away with that so many times before they fire you. And like it's just that was not for me. And it's a lot of work. Like I said, I don't have the energy for that.
Hmm.
So
It's politics in
it's just
his sex
so much
club.
bullshit. And I had a friend that I grew up with since like elementary school, and we reconnected because when we kind of grew apart after middle school and stuff, and he became a pimp, a really successful pimp,
Okay.
and he was like one of my first like crushes in school. Like we liked each other. I wouldn't even call it a boyfriend because like we were kids, but we were very close as kids. So when we reconnected, like, oh, this is somebody I trust, and he's like really good at this sex work shit. He knows the game, like, and he offered to teach me. And like he was like, why are you at this club? Like I could help you elevate, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I was like, well, yeah, let's put something together. And so he's actually who got me into sex work. Um, and it was supposed to be like kind of like a pimp relationship.
Hmm.
Um, this feels like therapy, but
Oh, please
he
let it
was
all out.
he was kind of like in love with me. He was in love with me,
Well,
and
who
so
wouldn't be?
I
Who wouldn't be? Look at you. You're
stop.
I'm in love with you. I
Oh, thank
seriously am.
you.
You know how I was at the beginning with you. I was always like,
Oh,
oh my god, she's gorgeous," and then
thank you. No, but I easily was like, okay, he's very fond of me and I love him like since childhood. So like I could see myself manipulating this situation and like not giving him my money. And so very quickly I learned the game. He didn't want any money from me, so I was keeping all of my money. Then I was like babysitting his hoes and like collecting their money, but then keeping it like talking him into letting me keep also their money. So
Mhm.
I'm like traveling across the country with these bitches and like keeping their money and my money. And like it wasn't good because bills weren't really getting paid and stuff. There was a lot of shopping going on and
Uh.
irresponsibility.
Okay. Well, you were still young, right? So you were still acting.
Not really. No, this is after I got divorced. I wasn't
Okay.
grown up, but I just
Yeah,
wasn't.
but you were carrying all. It was all about you, especially after being in a relationship like that last one, and then getting a divorce. It's like, nah, I'm gonna just take
I'm
care of
gonna live a
me.
little.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm gonna fucking take care of me. No, I
Yeah,
get it.
and I've
Yeah.
never dealt with that much cash before and like not paying taxes and not waiting for a payday, you know?
Uh huh.
So when all of a sudden you have like these bags full of cash in your face, you know, it's real easy to start frivolous spending.
Mhm.
And so that kind of happened. And then after a while, I was like, you know what? I need to like separate from him and his crew for a while and figure some shit out because I'm just like fucking off hella money. So I did that, but in a nice way. Like we always remain friends and in contact and everything. And um, I just started kind of like working on my own and then like without anybody else. And then I'm naturally a dominant person and like a bossy kind of person.
Mhm.
And so I very quickly saw that doming was for me. So I immediately got into that, never got out.
No, that's that. I mean, I think that's pretty hot. I don't know if I'm into that. I wouldn't say I am. I'd be more into like you dressing up like full of tinfoil like a robot.
And
You know.
I'd be down for that. I'm
Yeah,
all
yeah,
about the weird shit. So
yeah,
like,
yeah. Have you ever gotten any like weird shit asked of you, like
oh yeah. Oh
where
yeah.
you drew a line in the sand somewhere? You know?
Like in refused, ma'am,
Yeah,
please.
yeah. Well, that was just like super weird, or you were like, nah, nah, nah.
So there was a time when this situation sticks out the most for me because it kind of like traumatized me. And then I found out later other girls had gotten this request, and so maybe it wasn't real. Maybe it was just like kind of an initiation thing that this local guy does to new hoes
Hmm.
in the Bay Area. That's what I hope anyway. But I had got a request to. He told me he had some infant twins and their mother was going to be away or something. And he asked if I could come and basically pretend breastfeed them so he could jack off. And I was
Okay.
like, yeah, I'm all about the weird shit. I have very few limits. But then that just the thought, yeah, that's like not cool.
No.
So I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, not cool with
No.
that. And I was really fresh at that time, like new in the game. So I was like, what the fuck am I about to be getting calls like this? Like, is this the type of shit? And it just fucked with me. And so like girls I would meet, they would ask me like, what's the craziest thing you got or whatever, or call you got. And I would tell
Mhm.
them that. And a few people were like, he called me too. He called me before too. So we kind of decided like, maybe this isn't real. Maybe he just wants to like get an idea of
How
who.
far you'd go?
Yeah, and like maybe just how shitty of a person we are because back
Mm.
then you could like report ads on Craigslist and shit and get them taken down and stuff.
Mhm.
And people would do that. People would hate on us. And like, we're paying for these ads, and people are going and hating and getting them flagged back to back to back. Like, sometimes they'd ruin our whole day. And so we were like, maybe he's just seeing like who to fuck with, if someone's willing to do some shit like that, maybe. So yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know anybody that actually went to meet up with him or anything, or if
I
it
would
was
hope not.
real.
That's
I just
pretty.
tell,
Yeah.
yeah, I like to tell myself it wasn't real.
No, that's. But I know
Yeah.
I remember hearing on the podcast. I listen to it a lot. That you're kind of into that, like hearing about stories like that, and you like
Yeah.
want to know like the
The
details and
most
stuff.
extreme of the extreme.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
what
like
you mean? Like when I talk
yeah.
about, yeah, yeah. Well, that's part of my mental illness too, I think, just like my OCD and stuff. And I have a lot of intrusive thoughts. And so the only way for me to really explain that is like I'm already thinking the worst of the worst all the time. Like my brain, I can't control it. I go to a very dark, fucked up place without my own permission. My brain just does it. So for me to feel anything or like have any type of reaction or anything to a story, it has to be like either that level or beyond for me to be like it's very hard to shock
Yeah.
me or fuck me up, you know? So it has to be something like bad for
But
me to.
that's a good defense mechanism, because that
Yeah.
means this like story of, oh, this kid got hurt or whatever gets off. You're gonna like not. Oh, that's nothing. I've
I'm like,
read way
that's
worse than
nothing.
that.
Like, did they fuck their grandpa today? Or like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it has to be bad. Like, it has, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I could
And
definitely see you doing that just to protect yourself.
but
I'm
I'm
sure I do
really
that too.
interested in it. And like some people, I think it's to make me feel better about my own shit too. To like there is things worse out there than what my brain is showing me. And that's kind of comforting to me in a sick way. People judge me for it though. Like I've had boyfriends get mad at me and be like drunkenly go on a rant online and call me a pedophile and shit because I listen to hella like children's sex
Oh,
crime podcasts and shit. And it's
oh,
not that
whatever.
I'm getting pleasure from it. So
Yeah,
it's hard for some people don't get it, you know. I'm not getting
yeah.
pleasure from it, but it just I like to hear about very extreme shit because it just makes me feel a little better about what my brain does to me, I think. Or I don't know.
Yeah, no, well, it like gets you ready for even worse stuff, like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
I don't know how you say the word, but like yeah, there are worse things in life and you don't want to get out there and get shocked by something. You want to kind of
Yeah.
slowly get used to it and be ready for
Desensitized
yeah,
almost and like yeah,
yeah.
it would be hard to shock me, I think.
Yeah, but then especially not to call you like uh a pedophile or anything for doing it. You're just
Yeah.
looking at it.
But if
It
someone doesn't get it, because like that person can't stand to hear something bad like that. Like some people,
yeah.
like even Crystal, my co-host, my best friend, like she can't hear crimes involving children or like crimes involving sexual assault or certain things. And me, I'm like, that's nothing. Like I'll make a sandwich and listen to that. Like it's I'll relax and take a bath and listen to that. Like it's nothing. Like it's I don't know. If you don't get it, you're not gonna get it. So
No, no, I get it. I'm a person that's just as sick minded. I'll watch videos
I
on
yeah.
Twitter of like people getting shot, like just
With
in
a
cold
12 gauge,
blood.
like
And it
yeah,
could
it's
it could be an
whatever.
innocent person, it could be a guilty person, no matter what, just watch it and be like, "Oh."
Cartel beheading videos, piece of cake. Watch
I'm
them
just
all day.
like,
Yeah,
just
just
watch it a few times and then you're like, "Okay," and then you move on.
yeah, it's nothing. I don't even give it a
Yeah.
reaction. I'm just like, okay, I've seen this type of shit before. Also, I grew up watching Faces of Death videos on
Yeah.
VHS. Do you remember that
Mhm.
series?
I remember it, but I never watched it.
So there was that series and then there was rotten.com that was
I
very
remember that.
popular when I was growing up. And so when I was young, I was seeing all this like decapitation and fucking people getting ran over by trains and all that kind of stuff when I was a kid. So really I'm like I'm not getting shocked by any of that at all.
Yeah. I think I'd rather watch that though than like, sex videos or anything like that. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I don't like watching like I guess porn. I would
Yeah.
rather probably watch that sick that sick shit than porn.
Yeah. Same. I could see that.
And I know like I try not to heart very many of your pictures because I know you have your dude. I don't want to like get him
Step on
to
toes or anything.
get him to after me, but I know you've said you're into women at times, or
Yeah.
you are like
My
when's the
very first sexual experiences were with women. Well, with
and
girls, not with women. I was a kid,
yeah,
but they were with girls.
okay,
Yeah,
and
my
I'll
age
say you
and
started
above.
early like consensually and all that, just experimenting.
Yeah. It's funny. Like me and my best friend, one of the things that we kind of bonded over and we're just super shocked, like had in common, is we started masturbating when we were like super young, like 4 years old,
Hmm.
to completion, like to an orgasm at this super young age. We were super hypersexual kids, and we were not like sexually abused children. Sometimes that can have that effect on a child. It's
Yeah,
just something that how we were. I don't know. And so for me anyway, I started experimenting with like my little friends like really young. And then I started there was a girl in high school that lived in my neighborhood. And so when I was in like elementary school, I don't know why she let me do this, but she like let me come on to her and like make out with her and like, we didn't like
Mhm.
have sex, but like almost, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it was
Everything
great.
else.
Just yeah, yeah. And so it was like all my early experiences were with women. And then later on in life, again, after I got a divorce, at one point I was in a triad relationship with like there were two women and one guy, and we were all together. But again, my dominant ways kind of kicked in, and I was like, they like fucked without me knowing or something, and I like lost.
Mm.
And I was like, there's no, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, why would y'all do, And so I like ended it. And then I
Oh, that
kept
is fucked
with
up.
her for a
Mm.
while, but then yeah, that eventually fizzled out. So yeah, I do have attraction to women. I just haven't messed with anybody in a while.
Yeah, I was wondering if you, I don't know what they call it, fluidity, but you're still
Yeah,
like, yeah, yeah, because
yeah, I
I'm,
call myself queer because I'm not like bisexual is like liking men or women, right? But like
mhm,
queer is like liking anybody, like non-binary. I'm still learning these terms, by the way, but like non-binary and like trans or anybody, I think is queer. So that's why I
mhm.
call myself queer because I like just everybody on the spectrum.
Yeah, well, I've always considered myself, well, not always, but just more recently asexual, because I don't like the act of
I
intercourse.
My
You know,
meds have been doing that to me lately.
uh huh.
So
I
I'm kind of experiencing a lot of that lately just from my meds, from good old
Yeah,
SSRIs.
I would like take care of myself, but then I
Mhm.
always had, I don't know if you heard, like I would always think about my cousin,
Yeah, yeah,
and
like
then
that.
so I never thought of like wanting to have impregnate her, So I always thought of being asexual, like, oh, I'd want to, like, I wouldn't mind masturbating next to you, but I don't know about having sex with you.
So you don't have sex with other people or just with yourself?
No, just with myself,
Okay, that's cool.
just masturbating. It's not,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
but
whatever you're into, I think
yeah,
it's
yeah. But it was always like that, especially whenever I was like, with my cousin for like short period of time. It was like I never wanted to have that chance of impregnating your cousin.
I
Nope.
know, and causing a fucking baby with problems or something. Like, yeah, like you're not supposed to do that. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I never wanted that. But and then I don't even want to have children and pass on these fucked up
oh
mental
god.
issues, even more.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's that, and then we
The
already have
cousin
enough
thing is
people.
funny. I fooled around with a cousin growing up.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'm not super proud of it, but it's like I've told funny stories on the podcast about it quite a bit. Crystal likes to tease me about it.
Was
I'm a
it like
little
a close?
incesty. It was
Was
a
it a
first cousin, yeah, it's a
Oh,
first
for real?
cousin, and we grew up for years like brother and sister, like even closer. Like we were together every day playing, and like I said, just being a hypersexual child, just kind of we didn't
No,
have
that's
sex, but we did other things, and like
yeah.
it's very embarrassing now. Like if I ever run into that person at a family event or something. Luckily, we're not like around each other, and
Yeah.
because it's
No,
awkward. But
that's how it was with my cousin though. It was like we'd hang out a lot and I'd play with her feet and shit like that, and it was just I don't know, fun
is
and
that how the
games.
attraction started?
Yeah, yeah, it was just like fun and games.
What's funny is a lot of foot clients that I've had, they've told me that their like foot fetish started from childhood. Like if they had a hot babysitter and she would like not wear socks around them a lot, or like even one was telling me about his grandmother was always barefoot and he would like always
Hmm.
check out her feet and shit, and just like her legs, she wore dresses and shit, and just yeah, it always started like from childhood, the
Mhm.
fascination with the feet.
I don't know if mine came that. I think just my cousin was always barefoot and I liked having
Her, or you liked the yeah.
her. I liked touching like an area that was, I guess, off limits. Because
Okay.
the feet are kind of, I guess precious if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To
and then if they
some
take
people,
care,
to me for sure.
yeah, and if you take care of your feet, you take care of everything else. That's what I've always thought as far as a female
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah, and what I've noticed is that it's really concerning to me. I've noticed white girls more than any others, I think, but like girls that don't get pedicures like freak me out. Like, what are you doing? Why are you
That's
not taking care of your feet? Like thick ass heel, dry heel skin, and
there are
like
men that get pedicures, you know, like
yeah, but I mean, there's like women. Like I've noticed, there's a big group like of women that don't get pedicures, and they'll have like chipped ass polish on their feet from like a wedding last year or something, and it's like you ain't thought to re-hit that or like get those handed down or anything. Like I don't. Some people are lazy with their
dude,
feet.
no, I need a woman. Like I feel like that's like especially nowadays that's just standard to have
Yeah,
your feet done and your
yeah,
hands done, you know.
yeah.
And not even for like you said a wedding or a special occasion, just to
Well,
feel
yeah,
good.
there's no special occasion pedicure people, and it's like I need you to like make that a regular thing,
Yeah.
regular upkeep.
Like bathing, that's just
Yeah,
regular
hygiene. Yeah,
maintenance.
yeah. Routine maintenance for sure.
And I was checking out. I know I check out your Patreon and your Instagram. Your Instagram at lurk Pata Fria. I see you do shoe raffles, bathtub pics, but I also see you cooking up some fucking delicious shit. Like, what do you think's the best dish, like food you've ever made? I know you went on or you just started right, like really cooking a lot, where it's like
Yeah,
fucking
it's
crazy good.
weird. So I never cooked growing up. Like I lived with my grandma and stuff, and then I went and lived with my godmother, and like they just always cooked. So growing up, I didn't really learn how to cook ever. So then as an adult, when I was married, I would make just like easy shit like spaghetti or tacos or something. I just had like a couple go-tos, and
Hmm.
then my husband would cook and we would eat out a lot. Um, and then it wasn't until when was it? Probably like 2015, 14-ish, I became a vegan. And so, especially back then, when you're vegan, there ain't much to choose
Oh
from. You
yeah,
cook your own fucking food. Like you're not going to just go to restaurants, especially then, and
yeah.
be able to order anything other than like fries or a salad. So I had to cook a lot of my food. And so I kind of like got comfortable cooking back then. And so I would start posting cooking videos of like hella vegan shit. I made like pupusas from scratch. I made like whole Thanksgiving meal from scratch, like a whole bunch of stuff like that. And I put it on my page, and people were into it. And then it's crazy because people now to this day still think I'm vegan, and I haven't been for a really long time. But
Mm.
I never really liked meat growing up anyway. So I've always kind of been borderline vegetarian unless it's burnt. I'll eat like burnt meat, which is whatever, a whole other conversation. It
I
has
was
to be
about to say it
it
has to
has
be
to be
burnt.
like yeah, the texture. I'm really weird about texture, so
Uh,
it has to be like a leather belt or a shoe, or I won't eat it. Like I have to know it's super done, like tough jerky almost. Then I'll
yeah,
eat it.
yeah, yeah. What do you do? Like, just how do you go
Overcook
about? You
it.
just chew on it and then like let it get all over and then swallow, or
Just eat it like normal. Yeah,
oh,
just eat it
okay,
like normal. But it's just it's really tough, like to start out with. But like if I order meat in a restaurant or something, I'm like, please burn it. Like as much as they will, as much as they're willing to.
okay.
Sometimes they're like, "Are you joking?" And I'm like, "No, I'm serious." But so yeah, if I rarely eat meat, it's usually some shit like that. But I just start, the vegan shit made me start cooking, and then now the relationship I'm in now, for some reason, maybe just later in life, getting old, I don't know, but I've started cooking a lot for him since we've been together, and I never did
Yeah,
that before, so it's weird. It's like I don't know who I'm becoming, but
and it's like I remember seeing it was like curry, right? You were cooking
I made
curries
chicken
and
curry one day, and I was like, I kind of killed it. Like it was good, yeah.
yeah. I'm about
And
to
I
say like
never would have attempted that before. Like, yeah.
yeah, and you don't like what you consider your best dish. Like you're like fucking if I'm gonna impress someone, I'm gonna fucking put this dish out.
It depends what they are. Like, if it's a black person, I'll probably make spaghetti with hot links and shit in it, like black people spaghetti.
Mm.
That usually is a winner. If it's like, I don't know, my tacos and stuff are good. Enchiladas are good. I make a lot of food that I don't eat because like my kids eat meat, and
Yeah.
my man and my family and stuff, like they eat meat, so, and friends, so like I cook a lot of meat, I just don't eat it myself, but turns out
Uh,
good, so I don't know.
Man, that's crazy to like go from like your last relationship where like it was all you left it, and then it was all about you, which was fair because you know
Yeah.
you were getting out of that, and then now you're
Yeah.
like kind of
Maker-ish. Yeah.
yeah homemaker
More
like
domestic, but I think that came with age.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel a lot more domestic now because some days I wake up and I'm like, I want to cook. Like, I'm going to try to cook something really hard and see if I can do it. And like, I've never wanted to do that before.
And then the little one's like your granddaughter, right?
I have a
Your
granddaughter. The little
okay.
one here is my daughter. Her and
Oh,
my
okay.
granddaughter are 6 months apart.
Oh
So
no,
that's
I'm always seeing pictures of her. She's adorable.
thank you. Yeah, I wish I could have more, but I had a rough pregnancy this last time. So they advised me to not have any more. So I guess I just have to wait on my kids to have some now.
Well, that's always fun though to be. I have two nieces, and I know I'd rather have girls than boys. I don't know.
Really?
You have yeah? Do you have any boys or just
I do.
girls?
I have one boy,
Okay, I was gonna say
and
boys.
he's a
I don't
pain
know.
in the ass.
I'll say girls are the future. Could not handle taking care of a man.
Yeah, it's not fun. It's not a good time. And he's a Capricorn. I don't know if you're familiar. He's the worst of the worst. Like, know it all. Ever since he was a child, he was like this too. Just know it all, and like to the third power. He's just, oh God, he's impossible. But I love him to death. He's just a
Oh yeah.
very difficult know it all personality.
And if it's anything like I was like my mom's favorite, and then she turned on me. But I don't think that happened with you. But I'm
I
saying like,
didn't. Oh, I didn't know you started out your mom's favorite.
yeah, oh yeah, we were
Oh,
like, yeah, I loved my mom, and then
yeah.
she just
Okay.
slowly,
Turned on you.
took more and more advantage of me, more and more advantage.
Oh.
Yeah, until it just
Yeah, we
pushed
have that
me.
in common, I think. I'm part of the Shitty Moms Club.
And you were you like close to your parents up until a certain point, and then
Well,
they broke you, or you always just not like really.
so my mom and me, my parents were kids when they had me. Okay, I'll start off with that. They were like 16 and 17 when they had me.
Mhm.
Had no business having me. But so I try to keep that in mind, but they did not stay together long. I was very young when they separated, and my mom later like got a boyfriend when I was like 5 or something and just like bounced and like went to live with him and his family and like, which was in the same city as me, but like I stayed with my
Mhm.
grandparents. I couldn't go like I could go visit over there, but I couldn't spend the night. It was like a really fucked up situation.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, my dad, who is like severely mentally ill, angry person, also drugs were involved. He was like trying to get full custody of me, like to spite my mom, but like she did everything in her power to not allow that, probably because he's like a dangerous person. But he was always a really good dad to me. So he was always in my life growing up,
Uh huh.
always.
Mhm.
And so, even though I didn't live with him or anything, he was always there. If I ever needed him, he was pulling up. My mom, not so much. She was around locally, but not in my life really. And then as I got older, we just got further and further apart, and it was a mess. But yeah, we're actually not cool right now. Like I haven't talked to her since like last year sometime. But
And does she try to be in your life, or do you try to be in her life? Like
no,
because
I ended it. I kind of ended
okay.
it because it's just there's so much damage. There's so much damage done, and it's like I can't get past it without therapy. And so I suggested therapy to her, and she was not down. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try because she's a good grandmother. She's been like a good grandmother to my kids, a better grandmother than a mother than that she was to me. So I
Hmm.
was like, okay, let me try to just like get past this on my own, and I just couldn't. I was just constantly like finding myself hurt by things and like triggered by a lot of things from her and shit. So it was just best for me to step back and be like, you know what, without professional help, like I can't do this. And she would have a habit of like lying to me. And I really don't respect that, especially because like I'm grown as fuck, this big age. What the fuck are you lying to me for? You know what I mean? Like,
For
like
what?
you've
Yeah.
done enough. Like, don't start that shit. So it was just, yeah, just separated myself. So and
No, that's for your own talk. That's for your
yeah,
own health, you know?
my own sanity, I had to.
Yeah.
So unless we can get like some professional help, I'm not open to rekindling any connection
But
anytime.
then that takes her too, you know, like you can be the one who initiates the help and instigates it, but then if she's not gonna like even try, like what's the fucking point, you know? And then
Exactly. Yeah. And
yeah,
then I
she's
don't want you to like half-ass try because that's the only way you're gonna be in our lives again. I want you to want to fix it. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's
And
why we're
I don't
both
get that
working.
vibe from her. She's kind of like, I already told you sorry a bunch of times. Like, I fucked up. Like, but I did A, B, and C for you as an adult. So now, and it's like, whoa,
Yeah,
that's not how you
whatever.
apologize. And also,
Yeah.
like, I'm telling you, I'm deeply affected by fucking being abandoned and shit. So it's like, it's a mess. It's a hot fucking mess. I could talk for hours about that situation.
No, I've been the same. Like I wasn't close with my dad once my parents divorced, and I was the middle child, so I was like the firstborn son. So
Oh, okay.
I
The
was the
golden
favorite.
child?
Yeah, I was the firstborn son. So I was the favorite.
Yeah.
And then eventually, I just kept trying to take care of my mom, give her everything, but she became
Oh.
once she divorced my dad, she became like she wanted to just take care of herself, like without
Mm,
taking care of her children anymore, you know? So she was
mm.
constantly using me or using whoever, whatever man she was like with at the time, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, it just got too much for me because she was kind of making it more and more obvious, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I need taking my wallet from my shoe when I was asleep, going
Whoa.
to yeah, like going to buy fucking brown bag specials from Sonic, but just for her and my little brother. And here I am like working job, going to school, trying to like
She just felt entitled.
yeah, she did.
No.
And
No.
it just got to be too much to where I was like, you're now I can't trust my mom, and then now
Yeah.
I can't trust any woman if you can't trust your mom, you know? Or at
Yeah,
least is the
that's
way
how that happens. It kind of
yeah.
turns into that. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
family dynamics can really fuck a person up. And
But then it makes you more like better on your own. Like for one,
sometimes,
for real, you say
yeah,
sometimes.
sometimes. I mean, like, I think I'm a really good shining example of like a positive outcome because I could be a dope fiend right now. Like, I could
Oh
be
yeah.
a crazy dope fiend, unmedicated on the street, and I would have every right to be
Mm-hmm.
because of what I've gone through.
Yeah, yeah,
So I think I try to pat myself on the back. Like, you're doing hella good considering you had to fucking like raise yourself, basically.
yeah. That's what I say too. Like we would have every right to use this as an excuse, as a
Rob
crutch to
banks and
say
shit. Or to, yeah,
the world owes us, you know, because my parents, our
yeah,
parents treated us like shit, but
yeah.
we deal with it, and it makes us stronger because we're out there
Yeah.
kind of by ourselves, you know.
And I think it's actually made me such a better parent than I probably would have been. You know what I mean? Because I have an example of what I don't want to be like or what I don't want to ever make my kids feel like. So like it makes me go harder and like care more about my kids and like our relationship and
Yeah,
how they feel and.
you
So
want to break that cycle.
oh yeah,
Some people don't; they'll just
people
continue the
continue it.
cycle. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and it just keeps going. But you do like some people are conscious of it,
Oh yeah,
and you want to break it. You know.
yeah. I would never want mine to feel anything like I felt.
No, that's always great. I'm like that with my nieces. I never want them to think no, I'm here for you no matter what. Don't think you need to help me. You know,
Yeah,
I'm here for you. I'm your parent. I'm your caretaker, you know?
yeah, yeah.
You know, don't ever think you need to take
Support
care of
for
me.
them. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And
that's dope.
I was thinking of your tattoos. How many do you even know how many you have, have
I
now?
I have no idea. I started getting tattooed when I was 11. I was in 6th grade, and
Mm,
me and my friend, my super close friend back then, we learned how to do stick and pokes on each other. And so that's like when my tattoo started. And yeah, my first one was like, it's an M on the side of my ring finger here. I don't know if you
mm-hmm.
can really see it, but it's still there. It's in there hella good. And I'm so old. I'm like, I'm surprised that didn't fall out. But yeah, that I got that when I was 11, and then like some shit on my ankle and stuff, and it just was on from there. I got my first like shop tattoo when I was 15. I used somebody else's ID and went and got a dragon on my stomach. And it was just like going hard, balls to the wall with tattoos, like as a kid.
Yeah, I know my buddy, the one who does the art for my stuff. He's done all my tattoos. I have like maybe
Oh,
6 or 7.
I didn't know he did tattoos. That's dope.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
he does.
okay. Yeah, I like
He
his
does
graphic
everything.
work.
Yeah, he's
That's
great. Retro Horror
cool.
Inc. Yeah, he does. He's
Yeah.
done like all my tattoos. He does all the art. I think he
Oh,
helped
okay.
helped you out. So yeah, he's like a Renaissance man. He does everything.
Yeah. You should do like a tattoo tour or something because I've never, I don't think I've ever seen any of your tattoos.
Yeah, I guess they rarely show. I have like a. You
Yeah.
see that Galaga spaceship right there?
Yeah. Yeah. What's that from?
Like Galaga, the video game, the little
Oh, okay.
spaceship, and then
Okay.
up here, I'd want to get like the enemies or something,
Yeah.
so it looks like they're shooting
They're going
upwards.
at each other.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think what else we might be talking about. It was great. It was a great therapy session.
Thank you. I feel like I overshared a little bit, but
No,
I
no.
listen to your show. I put it on when I take a bath. I'm not kidding. I put it on when I do the dishes. And the way I describe it to people, because I do tell people, like, listen, when they ask, do I listen to any other shows? And I'm like, if it's not true crime, it's only this one. And so I tell them about yours, and I'm like, the way I describe it is like mildly problematic, okay, but with humor. So, like, anything with humor, I feel like if it's done right, it's good. It's okay,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. That is
So I'm like, it's really, you just gotta listen. Like, it's really fucking enjoyable. And yeah, I
no.
share it as
I
much as I can.
I appreciate you so much. Like I don't know, it's crazy how I started out like just oh my god, I'm obsessed with her, and now you're just great to talk to. You're fucking cool.
Thank
And then
you.
you even did the art piece back here behind
Yes.
me.
Did you hang that just because we were doing this episode? Because I've been
I did.
checking for it.
I
I've been
did.
checking for it, and I'm like, he fucking hates it because I never
No,
put it in the background, so he
I
don't
had
like it.
I had it behind
It's
my work
garbage.
desk. No, no, I have a work desk and I had it behind my work desk. So
Okay.
the so the
You're like, I
people
had it behind my work dresser.
I have a corner, a little nook over here where I work remotely, and they see
Okay.
that in the background. And then
Okay.
I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna move it here today, and it's probably gonna stay there for the rest
I
of.
was really proud of it when I did it. I'll have you know. And
No, it was fucking great. I was
I
fucking,
hope you
I
like it
loved
because
it.
I really liked it. And
No, I loved it. It
yeah,
was so
thank
great.
you.
Whenever you agreed to it, I was, oh man, she's gonna be fucking great. I love it so
I
much.
love getting commissioned to do any kind of because it motivates me, and it's like I really like doing art, but if I don't have like a reason to, it's hard for me to complete tasks. It's just like a
Yeah, like a
ADD thing
goal.
or something. Yeah.
No, I get you. But
Yeah. So
yeah,
you put a fire under my ass to get some stuff done.
and I'm sure I'll get some more stuff from you eventually.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
of course.
love talking to you, love your art.
You're
Love everything.
cool.
I love everything about you. Let's
Thank
just say that.
you. Thank you.
And yeah, thank you for being who I think you're the great goddess you are.
Oh, thank you.
And I am equal
Tell me
parts
more.
excited and scared that I actually got to like talk to you and interview you because you're fucking perfect.
Oh,
But
no.
I don't
Yeah.
know if you had any other things to share, any like shout outs, promos.
No, I just wanted to ask you, like, I don't know if you're closing out, but I wanted to ask you what you thought about. Did you read anything about all these morgues saying they only hire women or they only want to hire women?
I might have saw you share something. Did I see you share something about it, or did I see it on Twitter?
On
But
Twitter, I think I reshared something or I liked
yeah,
it or something, but I put it in my notes and I didn't talk to Crystal about it on our most recent episode because I wanted to like save it and talk to you about it because I thought you'd be like more on my thought wavelength maybe.
I
But
remember reading about it, and it makes sense, and I know why, and you can tell me why, because I do know why,
so
because I
I it didn't take me long to make the connection, but like
yeah
the tweet said something like, "Oh, I just found out that like morgues and funeral homes mostly want to only hire women." And um I didn't have to like think long of why, but I went in the comments and people were just like mortified and they were like, what? Like people are fucking the fucking corpses, and it's like, duh. But then some people were
yeah
like, yeah, this shit has been going on since like mummification, Egyptian mummy days. Like like they would not turn over their female relatives until the body started to decompose, because they knew the guy that was going to dress it was going to fuck it. So they would like try to deter him from doing that. So they'd be like, let her get a little rotten first before we fucking drop her off, and maybe
Yeah.
won't fuck her dead body. And I
And
mean, it was like awesome how many stories of it, because I've read stories before about like people's sperm being found in corpses that belong to the mortician and shit, and like the bodies were recovered for an investigation, and then it was uncovered that he had sex with it. It was this big scandal, but like it's way more common than I think people realize.
well, I guess I didn't think about it until it was said. You know why they hire women, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I know why. Like
Yeah.
it
Yep.
didn't click. It didn't click until someone like put it in
Oh,
that
really?
big. Yeah, because I never thought of that. I
For me,
mean,
it was immediate. I was just like, oh yeah, of course they're gonna fuck it. Like I
yeah.
would just assume that anyway, like I mean,
Once
yeah,
I saw it in black and white, I was like, oh yeah, no, yeah,
yeah. And then,
that's what a man does. That's what
dude,
men
that
do.
thread was just so many stories, and like people pasted articles and like all kind of shit about stories like in their hometown about shit like that, like
I didn't
the
know it
body.
happened so fucking like every day to
Yeah,
where it's like why even report it because it happens so
right.
often.
Like one person was saying that they got hired to work at a funeral home, and one of the managers told her, do not leave this doctor's side while he's on shift. Like basically he can't be left unattended because he's going to do it. And so she was just like taken aback, but it like, okay, like, and just worked with them every day. And it's like, fuck, like
Well, it's
that's,
one of those. It's like an unspoken. Like you can't write it in the book or have a sign that says, "Please do not fuck the bodies."
yeah, like
Like
a sign, get a metal
yeah,
sign made and put above the door or something.
yeah.
No,
It's like no, you should just not fuck them. That should just
yeah,
be a.
yeah. But it's like, no, that's part of the job. Like that comes with the territory. No, it's kind of like sheep farmers. Like, did you know that they fuck the sheep? Like that's like a regular ass thing.
I didn't know it was a regular thing, but I heard that a sheep's vagina is like the closest to a female's vagina, a
That would
human.
make sense then why it's such a regular, not even really frowned upon thing. Like I've
Yeah.
read stories about women catching their farmer husbands and like going off, but like personally, my best friend has a friend who has some sheep farmer family. I'll just say that. And they had relatives that I guess had got caught doing it. And so it's like not far fetched. It's like a regular sheep farmer thing. Like you fuck the
And
sheep.
yeah, that's so weird that it's like you know someone who knows someone. It's that
Yeah, personally. Like,
yeah, it's that common,
right. It's not that far
Yeah.
removed from me. Like,
Yeah.
what I mean?
This isn't like third world shit. It's like
No,
someone
this
that
is
I know
America.
knows someone. Yeah.
Present day. Like this isn't like from the 1800s
Like
either.
I
This
could call them right now and
call
they'll
them. They'd
fucking
be like, remember this story? Like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
I heard I heard a dolphin's vagina was like a female's vagina too.
That's wild. I just
Yeah.
don't put anything past men anymore. I don't.
Dude,
And
I
I probably should not share this because I also want to share this episode on my Patreon. But I am going to just try to be vague and say that a relative, when I was growing up, I think I was in high school, a relative of someone close to me was in an apartment beside ours, I'll say,
mhm mhm
and
mhm.
was fucking their dog. And this is like, hello, in the Bay Area. I'm not hella old. This was not that long ago. I am old,
Yeah.
but this is like not that long ago. And like was keeping us up at night. And like they had to go and fucking smash on him and be like, you have to leave, like, because you keep fucking this dog and like you're embarrassing.
Not even it's
Growing
like
up with these type of stories, I don't put shit past men anymore. I don't. I just don't. It's a thing. Like I don't. You're gonna fuck a couch cushion if you're inclined to do so. Like
where
it's
there's a will, there's a way, right? We
crazy. Yeah.
nevertheless we persisted and found a way. I don't know. That's why I prefer I just
You
masturbate.
just handle it.
Yeah, I just handle it my own. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't need any tools or any.
And
I have my imagination. Why can't we just use the power of our
well, you
imagination?
know what though? Let me ask you this: isn't asexual not even sexual with yourself? That's what I thought.
No, I think asexual is with yourself, like you do it with
I
yourself.
thought asexual is just not sexual at all. Like the thought disgusts them because that's how I feel. That's an example I've been using. Like I'm kind of asexual right now. Like my meds make me asexual. Like I don't want any sex activity
No,
at
I
all.
think that's another like term, like celibate. Celibate is when you
Celibate.
don't. Celibacy is when you don't like
Yeah,
want sex at all. Being
yeah.
celibate.
So you people that are celibate don't masturbate.
Celibate.
We need
Celibacy
to
is like.
Google it or something. I think asexual is not because isn't Morrissey asexual?
I know that name Morrissey. I know he's a music artist. I don't know his music. But I can't
He's
remember any like.
problematic.
I can't remember any famous ace. But there's too many terms. Like
Yeah, I can't
it.
keep up.
Yeah, it's getting like too many branches of too many different things. But I always considered asexual where I can like masturbate with myself, take care of myself, and then like celibate is like a nun, where they vow off of sex. They're celibate.
No, okay, so wait, I googled it. Okay, it says subcategories: gray asexuality and demisexuality. Okay, definition: lack of sexual attraction to others, low or absent desire or interest in sexual activity.
Okay, so it's kind of a low amount.
So I think, yeah, I just don't want it at all. Like, I think that's what it. I don't know. We gotta like get brushed up on our terms. I think.
Yeah, but it's they're ever evolving nowadays. Those terms, so
They are,
uh,
and I be saying the
yeah,
wrong shit, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I grew up where like we called them trannies, like trans folks. We called them trannies, and they wanted to be called trannies. So like,
yeah,
I had clients I would take to go see my favorite trannies, and that was an acceptable term. And then now it's like I got fucking reprimanded and was like, no, like you don't use that word anymore. And I didn't know, like, so I'm still
dude.
learning. That's what I
Well,
mean.
yeah, it's like saying like retard or something. Like we used
And
to
I
say it
grew up
all.
saying retard
Yeah,
too. Like
as
I
a kid, I'd
still,
say it all the time.
that was an
Like,
actual term. Like that was
yeah,
the correct term to use. And
it's
now
a
it's like,
medical term.
no, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Now it's like, no, it's fucked up.
no,
Oh,
and then they're making obese like a bad word too, and
skits. Saying like
see,
skits is a bad term because like
and
and
they're
shit like
and
that.
then what
Yeah,
bugs me the most is that they're trying to put it on the same level as the N word, and it's like,
it's
dude,
not. Nothing is
nothing,
gonna be that level.
nothing
No,
is on the same level
no,
as the N word.
no.
Nothing
So
will
if you
ever be.
once somebody tries to make that comparison, you already lost the
Yeah.
argument with me.
It's like, dude, you're saying obese, right? You're
Yeah,
saying the word and you're saying N word. You're not saying
those are
the
not.
word. You're not saying the
You
actual
won't
word.
even
That's,
say it.
yeah.
Exactly. That tells you right there they're not the same level.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
just tells you. Yeah, there
exactly.
there
Don't
will
fucking
never be a
argue with me.
word. There will never be a
Never,
word like the N word.
never. Do
No,
not
no,
compare it to no, no.
no, no. I
I
hate
know.
when they do that. No,
Yeah, I
that's.
get so mad when I hear that shit. Oh.
But I think that's a good note to leave on.
All right, yeah. Brush up
Yeah.
on our terms. We'll be wiser next time we hook up.
Yeah,
And
no, I'd love to talk
yeah,
again. You're amazing. You're
thank
great.
you. I think the
Yeah.
same of you. You're cool.
No, thanks.
I'm
And
sorry about this background noise. If we needed to do it over, let me know.
oh no, we're great. We can just do a whole nother one later on,
Okay.
eventually. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have your podcast, Hello Dysfunction. You can find it anywhere podcasts are
Anywhere.
available.
Yeah.
You have your Patreon, patreon.com/slash Hello Dysfunction.
Yep.
That you do
That's where we get a
bonuses
little
and
more
stuff.
personal and we
Uh
share
huh.
our even more of our business we ain't supposed to be talking about.
No, that's why I got that extra content on there. That extra bonus
The
episode,
gossip.
fucking
You get
great.
the good gossip, the clubhouse.
But
Yeah.
thank you so much for being
Thank
here. I
you. Thank you
appreciate
for
it,
having me.
and we'll definitely do this again. It was great.
Yes, for sure.
All right,
Please
be
keep that
safe.
cleaning up.
I will. I will.
Okay, I'm gonna
All
be
right.
checking.
I will.
Okay,
All right. Bye.
bye.